Welcome to Costa Rica. My name is Johnny from Johnny Knows Costa Rica. Today we're going to talk about a subject within healthcare, but it's a little bit different. We're going to talk about if something happens to you here in Costa Rica and you pass away. What to do, what are your choices, and actually why you should plan. A lot of people come to Costa Rica and we don't know what that day is. A Tico friend of mine told me, you know what, you Americans think you have the date and time when things are going to happen and you got everything fixed out, and that this fax comes in and you know exactly what happened. You know what? Had a lot of good sense in that, because you don't know. So I'm going to tell you about the funeral services here in Costa Rica, how to prepare for them, and how they work. If you use a traditional service here, it's usually done within a day or two here. It's not like what we're accustomed to in the U.S. I'm coming from the U.S. that is done in a period of time, can wait a week or two, allow family members to arrive. Here it's done very quickly. I'm going to tell you the process, how it happens. You may not be around to see it itself, but at least you know the process. Now, it's one of those things that if you pass and your loved one here, you have to call actually a doctor. A doctor comes out to the home or where they're at and actually has to declare them deceased. They do a series of tests. It's a document that's filled out, and you pay this doctor, hey, you know what, I'm out, and you need that document, because without that document and without that, it's kind of, think of it more like a murder investigation, that something happened and it's not all legit. So that's the first step. The second step is having a local mortuary or funeral services can say prepared where you're going to go. Now, there's obviously a few methods to get this done, but the first one we're going to talk about is being buried. It's actually less expensive to be buried in Costa Rica than cremation. So when you're considering this, know that if you want to be in the ground, a lot of us want to be in the ground. Particularly for myself, I'm going to be in the ground. Now, cremation. Now, depending on where you're at in the country, cremation is actually more expensive, and it's not always readily available in certain areas. They have to farm it out or use a third party per se to get cremation done. So when you're thinking about this situation, that's what you want. You have to prepare for it. So those of you that have not prepared for your funeral services, if something happens for you here in Costa Rica, you can get some information on the bottom. We can help you out with, point you in the right direction, because it's important. And your last wishes should be fulfilled. My name is Johnny from Johnny Knows Costa Rica. Pura vida.